Good afternoon to all of you, and a hearty welcome to the IPHM Festival. It'll be nice to see your faces. If you can switch on your cameras for a while before we get going. Welcome, Vijaya. Welcome, Rupa. Welcome, Brahman. Welcome, Joan. Welcome, Kanupriya. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Ikra, if I'm pronouncing your name right. Welcome to Ankita. Welcome to Pooja. Um, I can't pronounce. Is it Fair Chris Lucio? Welcome, a very hearty welcome to all of you. Thank you so much. It's such a great privilege to be here in front of you all, presenting something which I hold very close to my heart. It's a part of my life, and I want to share this part of my life in IPHM Festival 2021 with all of you. And I would love to have a lot of interaction. I love interactions. I don't like doing a one-way speech. So please feel free whenever you have a question to unmute yourself, ask the question, and then mute yourself again, allowing me to respond if I can to your question. Okay, that's fantastic. I'll wait for a while, maybe for another 5 minutes, to allow more people to join. Welcome, Nigeria Walid.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Very, very good afternoon. How about you? I'm fine.
I'm fine too. Nice to
Awesome.
get in on Zoom.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining the session.
Yes, so much to
Um,
learn.
for me also, there's so much to learn. Every time I'm online, every time I'm chatting up with people, I come back with, wow, there's so much more that I needed to know. And
Yes,
it's a fascinating journey. Thank you so much for being a part of this day.
thank you so much too.
Okay, so as you can see that the name of this session, the way it is titled, is Transforming Lives with Batch Flower Therapy. And it's a it's a very deliberate titling that I have done because batch flower therapy normally is used to heal people. But in my own journey with this blessed modality, I have found that it goes beyond healing. It can transform people's life. It has transformed my life. So today's session is a story of how transformation happened in lives of people with batch flower therapy. Also sharing with you how does it really happen? What is so blessed about this modality that it brings about transformation and it brings it out so subtly and so uh, softly and gently. And uh, I'm also going to share a bit about myself to start with so that you know where I'm coming from. At the outset, we're all pleased to be a part of the IPHM festival, which is a collaborative event that brings together everyone interested in holistic wellness and beauty. The event is organized by IPHM, and you can find out more about them on iphm.co.uk. Yeah, so as I said, to start with, I think I must share a bit about myself and my journey. So it was in 1999 that after 16 years of being with the corporate, I decided to step out to pursue my purpose. I was very sure that I had a larger role to play, a bigger difference to make in lives of people as someone who would catalyze transformation, human transformation. So I stepped out, and in the year 2000, 2001, I founded my own organization, which was meant to touch lives of people and take them through a transformational journey. So from then onwards up until now, I've been into transformational facilitation, transformational coaching, and then later on added Gestalt therapy. And in 2015, I was blessed to have Bachelor therapy also as a part of my bag of offerings. And I've been very, very fortunate to have had more than 10,000 lives coming across and crossing my path, and in some ways touching them and being instrumental in kind of heralding their transformational journey. I run a course on bachelor therapy by the same name for all those who are aspiring therapists and also practicing therapists. And again, uh, I'm very, very grateful that in less than a year's time, I have had about 100 therapists who have graduated from this course. I have several talents. Music is my first love. I write and I've published 2 books. And I also practice music healing. I practice music healing through live music as well as through recorded music. But more on that later. The focus would be for today's session on bachelor therapy and how bachelor therapy can help us transform. So I think I need to first share the story of how it occurred to me that bachelor therapy can go much beyond healing and cause transformation in lives of people. 2015, I have been I've been using bachelor remedies for quite some time. I think sometime around 2010, 2012, and in 2015, I started informally practicing bachelor therapy. I was a transformational coach, and by the way, transformational coaching also again came to me very naturally. And I'm told I'm one of the exponent of transformational coaching in the world. So I was fully into transformational coaching. And in one particular case, I took permission from my client if I could use bachelor therapy blended and integrated with transformational coaching. He was very kind enough, and I'm talking of a very senior leader from the corporate. Most of my clients as a coach have been very senior leaders in the corporate. And my mandate has been to bring about not only transformational in themselves, but transformational performance. So I took his permission and started concomitantly administering batch flower remedies along with conducting my sessions in transformational coaching. It was a 2 year stint, or rather 1.5 years stint, I think, way back. A lot of memories have become a little clouded. And the thing that I was trying to address that was that he had come with severe traumas, having tried to start his business and getting cheated by his partner, losing a huge sum of money, not being able to trust anyone in life, and also not being able to trust his own capabilities. So that was the situation with which he came into my life, seeking transformation for himself, his profession, and also for his team and organization. Slowly, I started noticing that he became more open. He became more engaging with people. He started mastering a lot more self confidence. He would take calls, he would make decisions, and he was in a very responsible position, so he had to make decisions. And he would go about making a difference, making an impact to the performance of the organization. That was amazing. That is something that I had never expected. I was giving him bachelor remedy, I was doing the therapy for him to help him manage his personal life better, to help him manage his emotions better, to help him manage his relationships better. But here I was slowly seeing the dawning, the sprouting of a very promising human being. And the promise that he seemed to bring in was without limits. He was growing in leap and bound. It was about a 1.5 years engagement, and he grew. He grew for himself. He grew in the organization. He was awarded and rewarded, and uh, most people in the organization didn't know that bachelor therapy had a role to play in his transformation. This was my first encounter with the transformational effect of bachelor therapy. Around the same time when this engagement was there, I was also self healing myself. As many of you who are conversant with bachelor remedies and bachelor therapy would know that it's a fantastic modality to self heal yourself. So I, around 2016, I think, yes, I realized that I needed uh, some kind of professional help to get over some emotional crisis which life had presented to me. And that's when I seriously took up self healing with bachelor therapy. It was not easy, there was a lot of back and forth. It's also true that I was learning around that time. So it gave me an opportunity to look at what works and what doesn't work also. And I think eventually around end of 2017, it looked like a dawning of a new sun, dawning of a new day. And believe you me, today, when I look back to that time, which is about 4 or 5 years back, I actually cannot recognize myself of those days. It's been such a radical change in me, not just in terms of getting me free of my emotional and mental issues. At a personality level, I am I see myself more in harmony more integrated with my essence, with my higher self, more aware, more responsive, and more available. And I cannot attribute it to anything else but bachelor therapy because that's one sustained intervention that happened with me during that time. Besides, of course, I've been meditating, I've been leading a meditative life for a very long time. So I'm sure that has had its own effect also. But I think is the profound impact of the gentle, innocent flowers because of which I am where I am today. So I'm going to share with you how this comes to happen. How is it that we are not just healed? And by the way, if you look deeply into heal, the word heal, holy, and whole come from the same root. So when I say that you are going to be healed with bachelor therapy, I'm also saying that you will transform to becoming the whole being that you are meant to be, not a disintegrated bundle of duality, but an indivisible duality, which is individual. So, in other words, the word healing itself within it has the meaning of transformation, but I particularly wanted to bring this to light and share with you how does that happen. So just bear with me as I take you to the next slide and share with you what seems to be the mechanism. But before that, I think for the benefit of those who are less conversant with batch flower therapy or batch flower remedy, I would just quickly take you through an overview, a very short intro, so that we are on the same page. Batch flower remedies are energetic remedies, which means the remedy, the bottle of remedy that is there, has certain signature vibrations and doesn't have any chemicals. These remedies were discovered by Dr. Edward Bach, who happened to be a Harley Street physician in 1920s and 30s. So it's a relatively new modality. It is as compared to many other alternative and holistic healing modalities. So there are 38 remedies in all, and each of these 38 remedies map to 38 mental emotional blocks and clear them or dissolve them through the higher vibration that comes embedded in the remedy. Now, these remedies can be mixed, and they can be mixed to make more than a million, I think more than 4 million composites. And each of these composites can address almost all conceivable psychological, emotional, and physical conditions. Now, this is one of the most important parts of bachelor remedy. The tincture that you get when you go to a pharmacy and buy, let's say, rescue remedy or any other bachelor remedy, the bottle does not contain any chemical substance. It's the signature vibration of the flowers that work on our bioenergetic levels and bioenergetic fields. Because it doesn't contain any biochemical substance, therefore, there is no chance of having any side effect. There is no chance of any overdose. there's no chance of going wrong with them. And interestingly, that's what I keep telling my students, when experiment with the remedies, even if you go wrong, nothing wrong will happen to you because there is no chemical in it. So this is in short a little about batch flower remedies. Now I'm going to take you through a fascinating story of why batch flower remedies and batch flower therapy is transformational in nature. Just stand by while I bring in a new share. If you have not already guessed, I am from India, born and brought up in India. And all my life, I have lived in India, though I have traveled to different places all over the world. And as a result of which, I have the opportunity, I have the great blessing of being privy to some ancient wisdom, which is 5,000 years old, tried, tested, proven wisdom of sages, of people who were very intuitive, of people who were enlightened souls. And much of what they had propounded then is valid almost in every respect today. Now, there was this person called Patanjali. I'm sure some of you who are into yoga would have heard his name. That's where yoga started from. And 5,000 years back, he propounded this theory of the 5 levels of human existence. In India, it is called Panch Kosha. 5 is Panch, Kosha is cells. So here are the 5 levels. What essentially he's saying is that our existence transcends beyond the physical frame. Physical frame is just one part of our existence, which is called the Annamaya Kosha or the physical body. Now, when it comes to healing, there are some modalities which only address issues related to the physical body. And typically, they are like diet, lifestyle, herbal medicines, and things like that. A level above the physical body is the energy body. We all have heard of the vital energy. Some of you might be working with chakras and the nadis. Some of you might be Reiki healers over here also, and pranic healers. You work with energy. So there is an energy body in which we exist. And there are healing modalities like pranayam, chakra meditation, connecting to nature, and of course, pranic healing, which help us to restore balance and harmony in our energetic body. The next level of our existence is the emotional body. It's also called the Manomaya Kosha. Now, this consists of our habitual behavior and patterns of thoughts and emotions. There are modalities like acupuncture and acupressure, which wonderfully heal this body and restore harmony and balance in this particular level of our existence. Now, notice every body which is above the physical body, for example, the energy body, when it heals the physical body. When the emotional body heals, it heals the energy body and the physical body. So, therefore, we now look at the fourth body, which is the wisdom body. In very simple terms, the wisdom body is about your being a witness and your being able to be aware. You're being able to be consciously aware. At this level, all the unconscious elements of ourselves, our age old conditionings, our limiting beliefs, they are dissolved. At this level, the duality of life gets dissolved. And some of the modalities that seem to be working very well at this level is hypnotherapy, theta healing, and of course, Bach therapy. So, if you notice, the Bach remedies, they work at a level of our existence where they raise our awareness of not only who we are, but before that, the blocks that we carry in our unconscious. And by raising the awareness, those blocks get dissolved. And the moment the blocks get dissolved, the persona gets integrated with the essence of an individual. Now, when the wisdom body gets healed, the emotional body also gets healed. When the emotional body gets healed, the energy body gets healed. And when the energy body gets healed, the physical body also gets healed. Very often, and most often, when we have a physical ailment, we reach out for help. We reach out to a practitioner. But remember, the physical ailments are not the cause. By fixing your physical ailments, you are just fixing the effect of a cause which is lying much deeper, possibly in your wisdom body or emotional body. So, in effect, a modality like Bach therapy can be a pathway for holistic healing. And what is holistic healing but transformation? What happens when you become aware and your unconscious blocks are dissolved? You transform. So, this is the secret mechanism with which Bach therapy, over a period of time, transforms an individual to become, or rather, from becoming to what he or she is meant to be. Just to expatiate on this a little bit, we approach Bach therapy through what is there in the conscious, which is the thought and the feelings and even the behavior, because that's the gateway, which is the mind body. We approach through the mind body. We then go deeper into the preconscious or the available memory. Preconscious has all the thoughts that are happening inside us, but we are not aware of it, the thoughts and the feelings. And from there, we deep dive into the unconscious, the processes that we are not aware of. and administer remedies to heal those processes which have been thrown off balance, to bring back more consciousness into the unconscious, to shine the light of awareness on those blocks which were creating a huge lump of the iceberg below the water. And this is important for the Titanic of a human soul to survive. If you just keep addressing the tip of the iceberg, you never know. You might be in for an unpleasant surprise. But with the transformational effect of Bach flower therapy, you can be rest assured that you have steered clear of the unknown danger. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. By talking about transforming life with Bach flower therapy, I'm also talking about steering clear of the unknown, the unconscious, the dark, because I've been on Bach flower therapy ever since I started it. I believe that it's like breathing. I don't see it as a medicine to be taken when I'm ill. I believe that it's a companion, it's an accomplice. And one of the reasons is I know that if I have Bach flower remedies as my accomplice, I will continue my transformational journey. Who knows, coming closer to what people call as enlightenment. So let's go a step below and see what actually gets healed in the unconscious. So, the unconscious that we carry with ourselves, and because it is unconscious, so it is unconscious, we don't know about it. This model has emerged out of 20 years of practice as a transformational coach, helping people to delve into their unconscious and look at all those things which have been blocking them from them being their awesome selves. So there are 4 layers or 4 levels of conditionings which came and got frozen into our life in our early days of growing up. And as we grew up, we reinforced them. Our sense of powerlessness, sense of worthlessness, our preferences, prejudices, perceptions, postures, paradigms, rituals, constructs, worldviews, beliefs, dogmas, principles, stereotypes. Some of you might be saying that, but they're not bad. No, they're not bad. They are blocks. And if they become dysfunctional, they block the possibility of the human persona getting integrated with the human essence. If you are looking, if anybody out here is looking at self actualization, is looking at self realization, the ideal state to be in is to have dissolved all these conditionings by becoming aware of them. And there is nothing more powerful, nothing more potent than Bach therapy. Not only powerful and potent, but more subtle and gentle. I have had a stint where I would coach people, take them through very painful process of helping them to shed their past, and along with past, the frozen conditionings. Now, that's no more required. All I need to do is a proper diagnosis and put them on therapy for a certain period of time And what I used to do earlier, the flowers do now. So that's another thing about a modality which is working at the fourth and fifth level. There is very little material or human intervention. It's so subtle. The remedies themselves are subtle. Their working is subtle. And therefore, they work wonderfully well with the subtle elements of our existence. So, that, my friends, is about bachelor therapy and why it is transformational. I am sharing with you here a quote by Dr. Edward Bach, and which is so much in line with my belief about bachelor therapy. And he says that illness is solely and purely corrective. It is neither vindictive nor cruel, but is the means adopted by our own souls to point us to our faults, to prevent our making greater errors, to hinder us from doing more harm, and to bring us back to that path of truth and light from which we should have never strayed. In other words, in very simple words, what he's saying is please welcome your illness, please welcome your disease. That's heralding, that is a beacon call for us to get onto a transformational journey. So many a times when a patient comes and feeling very worried about some mental or emotional issue, the first thing I say, you're fortunate. In the first count, you're fortunate to have recognized that you have a mental or an emotional issue. And in the second count, you're fortunate to have sought therapy because now you're transformation. And I have close to 100 clients. Most of them are blissfully in a transformational journey. Some of them have been around with me for more than a year. And I must state this that it's not overnight. I'm sure all of you will agree that human transformation takes time. So the time, there is no shortcut. Bachelor therapy does not provide you with a shortcut. It makes it simple. It makes it relatively less painful, but it takes time. So if you are looking for going through transformation in your life and you want to choose bachelor therapy, please commit yourself to a long-term relationship with the therapies and the remedies. 2.5 years, 3 years at least, and then you will see the magic happening. So with that, I'm opening up the forum for your questions. As I said right at the beginning, I like interactions, and I would like to hear you ask questions. I have about 6 minutes, maybe a few minutes. I'll take questions if you have any, and then I'll hand it back to the host, who has been so kind to be with me and help me go through this session without any glitches. Yes, Rupa.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, according to us, it's good evening. To you all, good afternoon. So I have one question. Like like this is about my father-in-law, and maybe even you people might come across this. Like
Yeah,
these
can we
days,
keep cases? Can we, for paucity of time, I need to close
no,
the
no, no.
session.
This is only a question. This is only a
Yeah, just
question.
put the
In
question
that case,
across
yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
It's like like I see most of the times in old people, like when there is someone who has come suddenly, it is because of overjoy or some sort of a surprise, and there is a lot of trembling, shivering, everything happens. And what do we do at this point of time? I
Yeah,
don't.
so as I said, I am not addressing that. I'm saying that is a welcome change
Yeah, yeah.
because of some dysfunction. Now he's ready for going through a transformational journey. And Age has got nothing to do with that. So let's
Mm.
focus on the theme of today's session. I'm not here to provide solutions to illness.
Yeah, yeah,
There are different forums. Please join me in an AMA and I will
yeah, yeah.
try and give you.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any quick question? Otherwise, I will uh, welcome Ramirez. Okay. So I think it's by India time, it's 4 minutes to 6:30, which would mean uh, another 4 minutes to close. You can write to me with your questions. There, I would be able to elaborate upon my responses. If you want to know more about me and my initiatives, I have a YouTube channel. You can follow this YouTube channel. I have a Facebook group where about 500 members are there. Please feel free to join the Facebook group. You can go through my website, and of course, you can contact me on my phone number and reach me out on my email, which is, I think, the best way to go about.